and welcome to this episode of
Head to Head.
Now this episode, what's going up against each other is Lech. This is a Polish beer, and Tyskie, which is also a Polish beer. Now just a little information on these. These are both owned by SABMiller brands. Both of the breweries are owned by it. SABMiller is I think the second largest bottler in the world. They do the bottling for Coca-Cola and for Miller Genuine Draft, and they have distribution rights for a whole bunch of stuff, so there's that.
So, and also to let you know that Tyskie is 5.6 and the Lech is 5.2. So we'll open these now and do a tasting of them.
Yep. Already there's a strong smell of it.
Yeah.
They're very interesting smells, these Polish beers. Anyway, so for the visual, first off, a nice head on this one. Very clean white head.
Yeah.
Bubbles are quite small.
It's a very orangey colour for a lager.
Yeah, this one, the Lech is pretty yellow. We've just to let you know, we have two different kinds of light bulbs in these fittings here. So on this side it's the CFL bulbs, and on this side it's the regular incandescent. So you can actually get different colors by holding up to the different bulbs.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this one, yeah, mine does seem lighter and paler than yours. Yours is a little orangey. The head is not very good on yours.
Yeah.
Or it's much better on mine. But the presence of lacing and hops, not great.
No. I'd say yours is sort of better than mine.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely better on the carbonation and head fronts. But they're both pretty easy to whip the head back on them. So for the visual, I think I'm going to give the Lech. I think it looks a little better than yours, so I'm going to give the Lech a 3, and I'm going to give the Tyskie a 2 for the visual inspection.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll give. I think for the Tyskie, I will give it a 2. For the Lech, just to look at the colour, I think I do like the colour, and the head retention is slightly better. So I'm going to give the Lech a 3.
Okay. And now on to the smell test. Now, just a tip for when you're smelling your beer. These glasses are great, by the way, for doing this, because they have this big bulb at the bottom and a narrower bit in the middle for smelling your beer. So give your beer a little swirl, and then just take a whiff.
Smells kind of boozy.
Mine smells biscuity.
Yeah.
Also a hint of lemoniness to this. When I did an individual review of the Lech, I really panned it. But
mine kind of smells like tortilla wraps or pita bread.
smells like corn.
Yeah, really kind of thin bread. You know.
Well, for the smell of mine, I think I'm going to give it a 3, because I've been generally pretty offensive to the Lech, as it were, but it really isn't as bad as I make it out to be. So the smell for that will be a 3.
Well, I think the Tyskie has some good, nice qualities to it, so I'm going to give it a 3 as well.
Okay, so we'll trade here for a minute so that I can smell yours and you can smell mine.
Yeah.
So this is smelling the Tyskie now. It does smell boozy.
Yeah.
Smells like alcohol.
Yours smells like that Beck's non-alcoholic beer.
That's
what yours smells like.
A little bit.
It does have a kind of citrusy quality to it, like lemon peel rather than lemon juice.
Yeah, I think the Lech smells better than this Tyskie does. There's not much in this. It does smell a little corny, a little vegetable-y kind of. The presence of hops is much better in the Lech than it is in this.
Yeah. I do like the smell of the Lech better.
Yeah, so I think we'll trade back here for doing the taste. But in terms of the Tyskie, I'm going to score that a 1.
Mm.
That, not only is it not a very good smell, but it's not very much compared to the Lech either. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. Having said that, I really like the Lech, so I'm going to give the smell of the Lech a 4 out of 5.
Okay. So let's move on to the taste now, and we'll be tasting each of our respective beers first and then switching over. Here's to the Lech.
And to the Tyskie.
Very hoppy and grassy right there.
Mm. Mine has a very smooth mouthfeel and a good hop aftertaste.
This is pretty thin on mouthfeel.
Yeah, that's how I would describe this.
No, this is thin on the mouthfeel.
Mm.
It's flavorful, but the flavors are not necessarily good flavors.
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't taste like vegetables or corn. It just kind of tastes like grass. It's thin and kind of floury.
Mm. The Tyskie does taste kind of bland though.
I think the Tyskie is marked as a pale lager, whereas the Lech is just marked as a premium beer.
Mm.
I wouldn't call this premium though. So, for the taste of the Lech, I think I will give it, I'm going to give it a 2. It's a little disappointing.
Mm.
How would you score the Tyskie for taste?
Well, I think the Tyskie is kind of, I know I said it's a bit bland, but having said that, it's very light and there's no bitter aftertaste, so I think I'm just going to give it a 2 out of 5.
So now we'll trade over. I'm going to get a little more of this Tyskie just to get the fresh out of the bottle taste. Anyway, bit of a swirl. Well, it smells pretty unappetizing.
Yeah.
That is definitely a better mouthfeel than the Lech.
I think the Lech is actually has a richer mouthfeel. It's not as smooth, but it feels like there's more character to it actually.
Yeah, there's more carbonation and character to it, but this is definitely a smoother beer. That said, it doesn't really taste like much.
Mm. The Lech does have a good bitter lager aftertaste.
Yeah, it's pretty hoppy, the Lech.
Mm.
This is not very hoppy at all. It's not very malty, it's not sweet, there's not much happening here with this.
Yeah.
It's smooth, but that's it.
Mm.
So for me, for the Tyskie, on the taste, it's going to be another 1.
Mm.
So for me, the Tyskie is putting in a very poor showing.
Well, I've enjoyed the Lech, and I think just for the taste of the two of them, I prefer the Lech. So I think I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for taste.
Now, I'll add up the scores. Okay, so we've scored the beers, and the clear winner here from both of us is the Lech. I have scored the Lech 8 out of 15.
And I have scored a 10 out of 15.
So, relatively high marks from both of us. The Tyskie, it's not good, to be honest. Both of these are made by SABMiller brands. They're both around the same price point.
Mm.
They're like 180 through about 250 a bottle, depending on the shop you buy it in.
Mm.
And whereas I don't necessarily like either of these beers, I wouldn't necessarily pick these out.
Mm.
Of these two, I would definitely pick the Lech.
Yeah.
So on this episode of Head to Head, the Lech is the winner.
So we'll see you next time on
Head to Head. Okay, now we'll trade over. So, we'll do that again. That's the Lech.